Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're finally going to be taking a look at the brand new 13.2 patch notes, which includes a Bluezone Grenade, a P90 Crate SMG, and a number of other changes coming to PUBG. Now, I know I'm a little bit late and delayed on this update, so my apologies, but for those who have been keeping up with me, the family and I are back home after Hurricane Ida now. Things are kind of getting back to somewhat of a normalcy. We got the pups with us. I'm sure you can see Callie back there. She's snoozing away, and things are going well with the house. We're getting the new house that we're supposed to close on had some damage from the storm, so we're getting that worked out. Closing got pushed back, obviously. It's just kind of one thing after another with that, but we're working through it. So I'm excited to actually get back into PUBG with you guys. We got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff to catch up on. Now in today's video, we're just going to do like a high level overview of the patch notes to make sure you didn't miss anything. And then in later videos, I'll do like a deep dive on the P90 SMG and kind of give you a comparison to how that stacks up against other top tier weapons in the game. We'll also take a look at the Porter vehicle, which is a new Taego only Hyundai. So I guess it's a Hyundai truck where you can actually store loot, helmets, vests, backpacks, all that kind of stuff in there for you and your team. So that's really, really cool. I'll cover some details on that. And then like the Bluezone Grenade, and I'll show you guys how that works. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, here we go. So we got 13.2 patch notes. So this is my actual first time even going through the patch notes. So we're going to do it together here. So number one, obviously they're going to highlight the new P90 SMG. Now this is going to be a crate only weapon. It's actually on all maps, thankfully. I thought it was going to be a Taego only. Thankfully it's not. All maps, crate only, comes with 250 rounds of 5.7 specific ammo, so you can only use the ammo that comes with it. Once you run out of that ammo, it's like the that's gone. I got a phone call, one sec. All right, sorry about that. That was actually my realtor calling about the house. So where were we at? Okay, so it takes 5.7 ammo. It's 250 rounds. It comes in the crate, and once you run out of that ammo, the gun is basically useless at that point because you have to find another crate with that ammo to be able to continue using it. Now what makes the P90 really, really cool is that it comes fully equipped out of the crate. So you get a silencer, a laser attached 50 round magazine, and a non-detachable small low profile sight with some magnification. So it has basically a built-in holographic sight with a flip up that allows it to go into a 2x zoom if you toggle your canted sight. It's actually got a pretty cool animation too. I've only used that gun one time, but so far I gotta say, I'm really loving it. Has 35 damage, maximum effective range up to 300 meters, which, I mean, you're not gonna use it 300 meters, but rate of fire is the most important thing, 1,000 RPM. To give you a point of reference, the LMG, the MG3, on its fastest rate of fire is 990 rounds per minute. So this thing shoots faster than the previous fastest shooting weapon in the game. It's pretty intense. All right, next up is a couple of Taego exclusive things. So we have the Porter truck, which is a Hyundai branded vehicle. Now I'm sure you've been seeing kind of a theme here. They had the Hyundai Pony Coupe. Now we got the Hyundai Porter truck, and that's part of the reason why Taego has been on its own specific queue, is because of some of these partnerships and agreements that PUBG has. That's why they've had to keep Taego as a special only queue for so long. Just an FYI. Now what's really cool about this truck is that it's the first one to have a trunk system. So in the back of the vehicle, you or your passengers can actually store items in there. You can store grenades, guns, ammo, and even armor, backpacks, and helmets. So what's really cheeky about this vehicle is you can actually put extra level 2 and level 3 gear in the backpack. So you can get extra level 2 and level 3 helmets, extra 2 level 3 vests. It's pretty clutch. And I'll go into a deep dive on that vehicle later when I do another video, but just a quick overview. It has 1200 HP, which is pretty comparable to all the other 4-door vehicles. Max speed of 130. It's not a super high speed vehicle, but it is pretty nimble. The only thing is that it's very top heavy when you're turning, so it's easy to tip over if you take it off road. So just be careful there. The trunk system is available with a capacity of 400, and just for a point of reference, a level 3 backpack has a 300 capacity. Now down here they give you a little graph showing you the weight of these specific items. So if you were to put, say, a flare gun in the vehicle, it weighs 100, which is kind of ironic that one of the smallest things weighs the most. Your main weapon is 100, Jammer pack is 100. Level 3 vest is 90. So you get the idea. You can put a maximum of 400 weight capacity in the back of the truck, and it's pretty useful. For a squad, you can definitely store extra grenades, a couple extra helmets, like the crucial stuff you might need later in the game. All right, now finally we got to see the Bluezone Grenade in action, and it is just as good as I thought it was going to be, although I wish it kind of had this one missing feature. So the way the Bluezone Grenade currently works is you throw it, and when it detonates, it lasts for 10 whole seconds after it detonates. It expands a pretty big size blue zone, as you can see in the image here. It's enough to cover a 3 or 4 story building, and it stays there for 5 seconds, and then it starts to contract, and that takes 5 seconds. But it does a considerable amount of damage. I think it's like phase 4 or phase 5 damage. It's pretty chunky, and it's a really good way to force people out of a particular area, or to block off their rotation ability around that corner or around that hallway, or their escape path, if you will. Now, one thing that I wish the Bluezone Grenade did do that it does not do is, I wish if you were inside of the blue zone and you threw down the grenade, I wish that it would create a safe zone inside of that blue zone to kind of give you and your team 10 seconds total to maybe pop a little first aid, get a couple boosts, whatever. Think of a game plan if you're getting camped and pushed out from the blue zone. That would have been kind of cool. They've added new weather to Taego, so sunset and overcast, nothing crazy there, but the sunset I think does look really good on that map. They've changed some of the blue zone rebalancing on Taego specifically. So based on the feedback, the blue zone was taking too long. Therefore, they have reduced the duration of the first zone to provide a smoother Taego play experience. So this means that phase 1 is going to be shorter, which also means the comeback BR wait time is decreased. Speaking of the comeback BR, they've made a couple of changes on the comeback BR. Number 1, the blue zone will shrink even more. So the actual safe zone inside the comeback BR will get smaller and smaller than it was before, forcing more engagements and more fights. They've also reduced the total time of the comeback BR, and players can return to the battlegrounds when the phase 2 blue zone starts to shrink, as opposed to it having to fully shrink before they come back. They've highlighted the outside edge of Taego to make it very obvious when you're about to go to the death zone of Taego. So if you happen to get a motorcycle and ramp up one of the hills, you won't just die because you didn't know where the edge of the map was. Now it's very clearly indicated. All right, guys. Now this next one's a little weird. PUBG has added yet another separate queue inside the already struggling queue situation in PUBG. They added casual mode, and if you'll notice this when you go to queue up, you'll have Taego has its own separate queue. You'll have normal maps as its own separate queue, and then onto the top right of that, you'll have casual mode. Casual mode is designed to be very user-friendly and to help new players learn the ropes, or to help casual players just kind of, what they say, blow off some steam in a more relaxed environment. Now, the way the casual mode works is you can only play it 3 times per day. So you get 3 matches a day, and then you can't queue up again in that mode. You can do it in solo, squad, and one-man squads, but only 12 real players will ever be in that match. The rest will always be bots. So you're almost always going to be facing almost 90 bots. It's available in TPP only mode, and the interesting thing is that it says the following are supported: replays, past mission, event mission, stats, rewards, and spectating. So if you wanted to, you could actually be cheeky and complete some of those hard to complete missions, the survival pass missions, weekly or monthly challenges. Usually they disable this feature from casual modes or from like trainee modes, that kind of thing. So that's kind of interesting to see that. I'll just say this real quick. I'm all for this mode if it means that they're removing bots out of normal queues. And the fact that they're making this TPP only makes me think that they might even be tempted to remove TPP from the game and have only FPP. That doesn't necessarily make sense when I say that, because the more popular game mode is TPP. But it's interesting that they would automatically assume that people who would want to play casual mode would want to play in TPP. So if it removes bots from my normal games, I'm all for it. They've added Taego into the team deathmatch arena rotation, so they've added some new maps that you can play. Some are okay, some are a little rooftop campy, but overall, I think it's a good addition. Now, of course, I'm sure you've seen it by now. We have a new Survivor Pass, Crazy Night. Now, I have another video put up going over all of the skins in the Survivor Pass, the top mission skins, etc. So go check that out if you haven't seen it already. But super cool pass, in my opinion. I'm loving the theme. I'm loving the colors, the skin designs, the weapon designs. Really liking the stuff that we can earn this season. They've made some changes to the contraband and hideout crates where they've added some new skins, some new weapons, and changed some of the probabilities, and that's what's listed here. I won't go over those in detail, but if you're interested in seeing how much you can get screwed because it's a gambling system, please feel free to go look at those details later. If you're also unsure on what the heck the contraband system is or how it works, I've made multiple videos detailing very specifically how to unlock the weapons in the contraband crate and why or why not you shouldn't be spending money to do it. I'll link that up top somewhere. The magnificent Lynx AMR is finally receiving a much needed update. Now, even though it's not a huge change, it is a much needed one. They've increased the ammo capacity from 5 to 10. So now when you pick this weapon up, which is a Miramar crate only weapon, I hate when it's map only weapons, you now get 10 shots with the Lynx AMR, and it comes fully kitted with a 6X, and that's really all it needs. The gun, I've done a couple of videos on it in the past, is not a one-hit kill as you would imagine a 50 caliber round being able to pierce the armor of a BRDM would be. But hey, it still sounds pretty badass. It looks pretty badass, and now you got 10 shots total, which I think what the ALM you get 15 or 20 shots. So is it better than the ALM yet? I don't think so, but it's getting there. We've got some fun changes coming to esports. I'm going to make a whole nother series of videos going over the PUBG Continental Series 5, the PCS 5 series. This is where you're going to be able to vote on your favorite esport teams to see who do you think is going to win in the upcoming PCS 5 tournament. You'll be able to unlock brand new weapons and skins if you vote correctly. So again, save your coupons. Don't vote yet if you haven't already. I'll be making some videos, as I always do, on that whole series to give you guys, hopefully, the best odds at winning some great skins. And of course, it wouldn't be a PUBG update without some new skins. I won't go into detail on these in this video because I've already done another video going over the season pass and all the new skins again. So go check that out. I'll just say overall, I think they did a really good job this season on the skins, or at least this pass on the skins. Really loving the vibe and the direction they're going. Hopefully they keep this up and more of this soon. All right, guys, and that takes care of it for our season 13.2 patch notes roundup. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with a buddy, and of course, get subscribed if you're new to the channel. I'll have a bunch more PUBG content coming your way. Thank you guys for sticking around. Again, sorry for the couple week delay, but we'll be getting back into our schedule here in the coming days. Thanks again. See you guys in the next one. Peace.